see, there's a trade opportunity here at the end of the day that we should. I was so off, man. I was so off on this early day, like where we would open. We should have opened. Well, I guess technically we did open lower, but man, it should have been a much bigger gap based on what my expectations were. But in any case, that's what I think happened is that with the weekend took up the last couple of days of the big drop, right? We had like this return, and then we had the weekend, and we had this return, but then it kept going, right? This is the 14th, this is the 15th, this is the 16th, right? So we had the return, and then we had the weekend, which took away the rest of that drop. So what we should probably see now are some significant price swings throughout like the remainder of the time. This red ellipse is probably way off. I'd say it's probably closer to somewhere in there. So I think probably still good, and it does explain why we have this highest high on the 24th, because we may very well just see that. We saw it today. So that might have been it. That might have been the highest high, but it's also possible tomorrow. It looks like we open higher or at roughly the same. There's a fake out in the morning, and it's a decline day off of a high. Yeah, it's going to be this resistance level right here, probably based on the Ace of Swords. And that would make sense, right? Because so where we are right now, this move here is roughly right here in the pattern, right? If you're just hopping on, what I'm explaining is how I've been off on this last piece, and I've mentioned before with Mercury retrograde that the weekends sometimes throw the pattern off a little bit, right? So in the case of what happened here, we had this big decline. This was for a week, right? We had the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, all the way down to the 16th, right? So here, and we had this retracement, and then it continued, right? So we had this decline with the retracement, right? And we were here, and then we went into the weekend rather than having 3 more trading days. If we had been trading over the weekend, we would have seen continued more decline. But with that said, we are now in the price swing period of this last portion. And my sense is that we're right here, like in the grand scheme of the pattern. So we should definitely see very soon a significant price swing and a low that would be worth considering to get out of short position. Even though I was wrong about it earlier, about an opportunity earlier today. And I mean, look, the SO Meta didn't say to trade early in the morning, so but it does say trade here at the end of the day. And it's a brief high that will be easily missed. So you're trading with the idea that we go lower. The following day is a decline that increases with momentum as we move forward through the day. Highs at the beginning of the day, lows at the end of the day. Unicursal at the low here. So this is probably where the drop is. Yeah, look, Prince of Cups, all the way into the morning here where they have a low and a significant technical price level. How's that? Is that better? Can you hear me now? hear me better now? Testing, testing. Thanks for the nice call. I should have stuck with it, and that's why you don't change your strategy during retrograde. You make the strategy beforehand and you stick to it. Because I was thinking that I was off about this highest high. Based on the Mercury retrograde strategy, but what I failed to consider, the important thing about Mercury retrograde strategy, and I'm sure I've mentioned it, is that the weekends can really throw the pattern off a bit, and that's exactly what we have here. So we had this decline, retracement, decline, decline, decline. This all took place in 1 week, right? This was the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th, right? And then we have the weekend. So we have this decline with this move higher, right? That was the retracement here, roughly that energy, and then we went straight into the weekend, where if we had trading days during the weekend, we would have seen a sharp drop down to these levels. So I recognize that I made a mistake there, but it's easy to recalibrate expectations now based on extra, information. And if we're in the high, it would appear that we're now in the price swing period. This last portion here, we missed this piece of the decline because of the weekend, right? And so we entered in here, and what we have is this like big move here. Roughly, my sense is that we're probably here at this peak, and then we should see price swings throughout the rest. So I adjusted this red circle, this red eclipse target area for a low based on that. I raised it a little bit, but my sense is that even though I was off about this big drop that I expected in the morning, we still see it. I mean, we're going to have price swings. There's plenty of opportunity in the midst of the volatility. So we're at the upper end of the range, I would say. If you're short and you got scared out, I almost got scared out, and I'm like, what am I thinking? And I thought about the recalibration and what had happened with the weekend. I'm like, okay, I know exactly what we're doing. So there's a decline tomorrow from a key resistance. Right, first thing in the morning at a high key resistance. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this all correlates to the decline increasing with momentum. We may revisit the high here. But we have a low at the end of the day. And then we have a unicursal at the low, and I think probably the decline continues into the 25th. That's my next exit point, and I'll see how I feel when I get there. But that's my next exit point for puts. Would be in the morning of the 25th. Yeah, hey Raymond, I was totally off on that, but I'm not sure. Did you catch what I had just said? About the Mercury retrograde, the weekend kind of skewing the pattern. Did you catch that, or should I go through it again? Time sensitive. Okay. I want to get intel from the cards. Okay. Without looking at a chart, probably what's going on is it's doing some sideways rotation. That's going to turn into more of like a volatile price swings. Volatile price swings, but with a rally to the upside. So you might not want to do that actually. I got. The Prince of Swords leads to gain. Let me know if you caught all that, Carolyn. Oh, cool. Okay, good stuff. Yeah. So I had, after you saw, I adjusted this ellipse, so it's not going to be as big of a drop, but this should still be a pretty good exit point. I got in here, and then I got in here in a different account, so, or somewhere around here. So both of those should be solid if I'm just patient. It looks like not necessarily. So there's because there's going to be some price swinging, right? Let's do this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so this is FTMT. And here's the short leg. Ooh, okay, so it looks like you wanna get out of the long probably want to get out of the long leg actually. Now that I'm looking at it, so for the week I've got the Hangman for today, so the halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline. The following day is the completion card, another end of a rally. Wednesday is the indolence card, so a brief peak that's easily missed. Thursday, defeat, so we have this failed attempt to break through key resistance and then a decline through key support, and then Friday's a big decline. It's the universe card. Probably the best day to get out of the short leg would be on Thursday. And probably get out of the long leg today. Yeah. Hold the short leg until Thursday if you can do that. Close the short leg on Thursday, you'll make some money. It's the long leg that I would be concerned with. Today looks like the day to get out. Did I say that? Are you sure, Carolyn? Because I was expecting roughly the same high. Right, based on... Let me get it out. Okay, no. I'm glad I looked at this because I was picturing a different chart in my mind. That might be the silver chart I had in my mind. I have to look. Yeah, well the high is in I think this first high is in February. It's pushed. So we have a low in late January and then a high in February. So I would say probably what we're revisiting are lows that we saw. Right, we've got lows, big move higher. We hit a resistance level, decline back to near the same lows. Not quite the same, but that's where we are. So this was like early retrograde. late retrograde. Rally ends. We're bound by the bottom end of a range in February, and there's an overbought crest that we sell off from with a prominent peak or crest there in February, and I believe it's early February. Let me take a look. So the February 1 month overview reading came out like so early this month. It came out like in the first week of January. Um, the way that you get that, guys, the full version is, hold on, let me just find it here. You want to sign up on our website, Tarot for Traders, for the free newsletter, which I signed up for, but I can't remember where to do it. It's somewhere on here. Somewhere on here. I think it's a pop-up. There's a pop-up that comes up in any case, or there used to be, but so the newsletter is the way that you get the earliest access to the signing up for the newsletters, the way that you get the earliest access to the 1 months for the S&P. Either that, or if you've got the $17 a month early access on the website. Raymond, I'm thinking. Well, first off, Carolyn, I do just to make sure you heard me. So I'm pretty sure we see a higher high in February, and I'll get into the 1 month in a sec. SPY puts. Yeah, I'm waiting until Raymond. I'm waiting until the morning of the 25th. Or maybe the end of the day on the 24th. We'll see how far we go. If we're profitable there on the 24th, I'll get out there. But we've got this unicursal at the low. We've got the low early in the day. It's like an extension of this decline that we saw the prior day. So there's a good chance there's a notable low here and trade opportunity. Alright, so in the February. Working on March right now. Yeah, see this high here on the 3rd, I believe to be a higher price level than the high we've seen in January. And it's interesting. There's also another kind of high here at the end of the day. I'm going to revisit this. I think I'm going to revisit this because I identified these highs and lows during retrograde. I'm gonna do that again. I'll look at it a little closer here. Highest high. Yeah, okay, well, that would make sense that we would have two highs, right? They both correlate. See, we have the orange correlation here. This is why there's I saw a second high, because there's the orange correlation to the Queen of Discs, which is revisiting of a support level that was recently a past opportunity. And we also have the orange correlation here on the 3rd, where we have a highest high correlator. So what we're seeing is we're going to turn it into support momentarily, the high, and then do it again here on the 24th. 3rd and the 24th, but in between there should be a notable decline. You're welcome, Raymond. All right. All right, Raymond. Take care. Have a good workout. Um, I'm not sure if I did a reading for Bitcoin for January. Let's see. I was just working on Bitcoin yesterday on something. I can't even remember what reading it was. My God. Yeah, pretty sure there's a similar thing going on with the high in February. Let's see, did I do it? I did. Okay, yeah, so that's what's coming on. I'm going to be recording Bitcoin today. Um, Interesting. Yeah, so there's a notable high on the 3rd for Bitcoin. Looks like we may revisit it again on the 11th, but something very significant about the 3rd. I think that's probably the highest high for for Bitcoin's either in on the 3rd or on the 11th. It looks like. I'm going to release this Bitcoin reading. Matter of fact, I'll record it right after this. I'm going to roll because I had the whole day to do recordings, and I spent the whole day at the dentist and dealing with insurance issues, like because I moved states. It's just, what a retrograde! My God. Yeah. See, we have a high here on the 3rd as well for the S&P. Selling from near overbought territory on RSI at the end of the day after bumping up against resistance. Period of volatility with a sharp dip. We open at a key resistance level at or near one. um, yeah, so I think the highs in February of this move. And then yeah, if we see a low around like a 7K low or something, it's most likely going to be like the end of March, early April. Ooh. No, 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 it wouldn't be there. There's a highest high there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's highest high is in December, so it's definitively bullish, and there's a breakout, which I think probably takes place in July. But there's a a lot of, there's a significant bottom correlator going on. There's a bunch of uh, lesser low correlations, these like outlined reds on the 1 years. Um, they're more like local lows, but still they're all kind of like coalescing here together, if that's the right word. And we've got the Death card and the Ace of Cups card. Yeah, I mean, this is very bottomy right here. Decline in the end of February, actually decline in the beginning of February, increasing with momentum in late February. Yeah. So there's a resistance level, key resistance level at in the end of January or early February that we're going to decline off of. This may have something to do with Congress. Might have something to do with Congress. Yeah, it's definitely astrological. I find that I end up at the dentist around the edges of retrograde. I try my best to avoid doing dental work during retrograde because not only do you like revisit on both sides of the retrograde, like if you do something on one side, you'll revisit it on the other, but you tend to also revisit it like in consecutive coming retrogrades. I think probably early February it's going to complete the Bitcoin rally. Like, where did it go? Yeah, so we may hit it a couple times. There's a possibility that we see the high again here on the 7th. There's a high here. There's a high, like possible high on the 7th, but and there's another highest high correlator on the 11th. So at the latest, I'd say the 11th would be the end of the high. Fortune card declines. So decline, we go into a lowest low. But prudently, I would say the 3rd is probably a good high. There's a resistance level that's going to put a lot of pressure on Bitcoin. We'll see, like, we'll probably hit it a few times and we won't be able to break through it. Hmm. Bitcoin. I guess this chart's fine. Wow, it's really moving. I'd say it's probably topping off around this price level. What is this up here? 24.5. Yeah, so it looks like it turns that this price level here, whatever this crest ends up being, like 24,461 roughly. We're gonna create support around that level, at least momentarily. It looks like. Yeah, we'll create resistance and then we'll decline off of the resistance. So we'll do support back to resistance. We'll play around with that price level for a little bit. 24.4 roughly, whatever this crest is here. It's like 24.461, I believe, is the high. That high, anyways. So roughly 24.5. Let me see. Which one do I want? Oh. Sometimes I forget what month it is because I'm working on so many different times. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that's looking decliney. Tower card in there. Tower card at the end of the day. That's a trade opportunity. Is that a trade opportunity? Let me see. Yes, Tower trade opportunity. See, Tower card on the 25th, trade opportunity. When we go to the 25th, we have Tower card at the end of the day. I don't think I would wait for it though. If I'm profitable, in my put, because my plan was to get out today in the morning, and I was wrong. So with that said, I like to get out at the first opportunity when I'm wrong and just go for a new trade. So if I'm profitable here on the 25th, I'll get out. If not, I'll wait till the end of the day. But there's probably going to be some like movement to the upside here, like mid-morning, mid to late morning. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah. I would like to get out here. This would be the most prudent place, but I'm not gonna get out if it doesn't go the way that I expect it to go, because there's another possible opportunity here at the end of the day in the midst of a decline. See, there's the completion energy, which is what I don't like. That's a rally energy that ends, but it's a rally energy. We see it here too. I don't like that. uh, yeah, I guess so. Hey, outside, well, higher high tomorrow midday. I would say whatever the high is in the pre-market is going to be roughly the same high. Oh, breakout here. I mean, it's possible, but I wouldn't want to bet money down on this being a higher high, just because this is a pretty significant decline day. So it might just be like we might have a fall, and then there's like this prominent move out of it, but it doesn't end up being a higher high. Like I might be a day off, and the highest high was today. Like that could happen. Happens. It happens frequently enough that I'd be mindful of it. What's important is we have this resistance level, the Ace of Swords resistance level at the high, which we have here. It's also correlating to the Princess of Swords card from the prior day, so important resistance level here, like super important resistance level, and a fake out involving it. Decline out of I guess the fake out's probably to the upside, and decline out of that. And then there's probably a bit of a trade opportunity here between the decline and this like second crest, but me personally, I wouldn't trade it. It's just not. It's against the overall trend. I don't like to do that. It's risky. And then end of day, we're declining, and there's a low at end of day. See, Raymond, if I'm profitable here at the end of the day on the 24th, I'll probably get out there, just because as far as I'm concerned, it's a failed trade. I wasn't correct about this morning. I gave myself enough leeway in case I was wrong with the expiration. I give myself enough leeway that there's a couple other opportunities I may be able to get out, but the fact that I was off today about it, I'd rather just get out at the first opportunity and start fresh with a new trade. I'm gonna on the well, I think on the 7th is where I'm gonna create a straddle. Well, actually, not a straddle. Well, I'll protect against my shares. I have shares. I'll protect against them on the 7th. Let me see in January though. So there's a price level on the 25th that's going to be important on the 25th, 26th. My sense is that we decline into the end of the month, and then I think there's probably, I might have said we rally into the end of the month, but it's actually looking like a decline to me now. It's really looking like a decline. This is supporty. This is supporty. We have this correlation to the failure card. Resistance, strong resistance here on the 25th, 26th. So the price level here that this important price level that'll be highlighted on the 25th, I would want to take note of that price level. And then I think the high in February is going to be, where's the 1 year? So the high that we see, that we establish, like whatever high we're establishing now or have established, we'll see it again like towards the end of February, is my sense. But there is going to be a bit of a decline off of it, like in between this high and that high, and we may very well revisit the $3 range. It's possible. A lot of rally towards the end of March into April, and an opportunity here, a bullish opportunity in early March, looks like. My sense is that there'll be both a lower low and compare February to March, there'll be a lower low and higher high in March than there was in February, is my sense. Maybe not a lower low. Maybe not a lower low. It might be just another prominent low, actually. But there's a highest high here in April. That's what I'm shooting for, as like maybe a short-term exit. I mean, it really depends. I'll hold it until it's like it hits $55. When it hits $55, I'm out. An opportunity to buy space. I mean, in the long run, outside well, it's still an opportunity. If you're looking to hold this like for long term, like multi-year, it's super juicy opportunity right now. But we may see it go into the threes again. We'll see a better price level to get in than we do now in the near future. Like the price level that where were we at right now? 518. It's still showing me SPY. I knew it. I was like, this isn't the SPCE chart. Here we go. Yeah, so I think we probably the high we're gonna hit the 200-day moving average ish resistance there probably on the 3rd of February. And then we'll have a decline probably back to maybe this level. We could go down to the threes, but maybe this level, like the 450 range. And then we should meet these price levels again towards the end of February, it looks like. Anyhow, guys, I gotta roll. Yeah, you got it, my man. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna roll. I got a bunch of stuff coming out. It's the Pisces moon right now, so I want to get a bunch of stuff done. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, guys, it's even more important right now, the rule of karma, because we still don't have a payment merchant account set up on our website, so we're not able to take payments there. It's like really, like, this is probably not going to clear up until the 7th based on retrograde and the timing of when it went into play. So rule of karma,